This is the Black Creative Handbook with your host, Kassandra Lauren Gordon, and this episode is about how to find your creative people. We all know the saying, your net worth is your network. So important. I knew this all in my 20s. I thought, yeah, I know. And then I'm suffering, or did suffer, in fact, in later life by not taking that into consideration. Now, let me tell you a quick story. I think I've probably said it a little bit in the other podcasts, where I really struggled of getting my creative network together because the people I was dating wasn't creative. I'm not saying you'd be more creative if you date someone who's creative, but it really, if you live with that person and they don't think similar to you or don't have the same ambitions, it's really tricky to get to the next level or where you want to go. I was hanging around with people who had nothing to do which I wanted to do. I wasn't seeking content of where I was in alignment to with my visions and my goals. And what I was finding, I was getting upset, I was getting depressed. I felt like I was so lonely because I'm like banging my head against a really hard rock and another rock and another hard place. Because when I was trying to tell my creative ideas to people or friends or people I thought who cared about me, they gave really harsh words. And they weren't really creative. They're like, go back to Coventry. I live in London, by the way. Coventry is around 100 miles away. They'd be like, go back to Coventry. The world doesn't owe you nothing. Just be a social worker. Just earn £40,000 and be a social worker and have 2 holidays a year. You'll be fine. You'll make a good social worker, Kassandra. And no one believed in me of having a jewelry business or doing creative things, and it was very upsetting. And then I thought in my head, am I crazy? Do I have mental health issues? What's going on with me? And really in a very dark place, super dark place, because I just didn't have that social capital. I'm still working on it, but I tell you, the belief was not there. So that's why it's so important, if you listen to other episodes about talking about having your own self-belief. Even if people don't get your idea, get your vision, you just got to keep on going, because people say stuff and you got to just keep on going. Don't let no one take you off your path. No one take you off your vision. No one take you off your route to success. I'm really passionate of people finding their own creative people. And how do you do that? Well, I'm going to tell you. So number 1 is to really think about your creative interests and your hobbies. Where can you meet people online? Where can you meet people offline? If COVID restrictions are okay, no matter where you are in this world, because I know I've got an international audience. Where are these people? Map it out. Do your stakeholder analysis. Meaning, these are the people I want to connect with. These are the things I like. So for instance, if I'm a writer and I wanted to write more, is there any writing clubs on Meetup? Is there book clubs I could talk about literature with? Is there certain writing societies or groups I can join and pay? I find if I want to do more writing, especially poetry, I like to sign up to a course, because I know I pay my money each week to do this course, and I'm going to produce physical poetry whether I like it or not. I don't know, there's something about the accountability. Like, if I'm sharing in a group, I don't want to come to a group and not bring anything to it. And the second thing, I paid my money. I don't want to waste my money. I don't have much money to waste. So I really make sure, like, the accountability of things coming out my bank account, and the accountability of having that social, slight pressure of me producing something. So figure out that where you want to go once you do your stakeholder analysis. The second thing is being consistent of finding your creative people. It's not a one-time thing, it's an ongoing thing, and I've made it part of my practice. I look at events I want to go to. every week, and people who I want to talk to, and meetings every week I review, and I'm like, I want to talk to these people, I want to set up a meeting online. Zoom's our friend, my best friend. I think people's really not welcoming, but it's not as popular to do like back in the day, about 4 years ago, when I used to have Zoom calls or online calls with people. They're like, oh, I want to meet up in person, but I'm like, the hour travel, I'm talking about being in London and travel back. I'm not saying it's not good to talk to people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying face to face is always better, in person. However, if you can squeeze in lots of calls in one day, which I try to do, Fridays usually is the days when I usually have schedule my calls, just easier that way. Obviously but I try to do a lot of blocking of the same tasks just to help with time and with my scheduling. That's another tip just to put in there. So just being consistent is like a part of me. I'm always trying to find new connections. It's not just for a particular purpose. I'm not really into using people. I'm really trying to see how valuable I am to other people. What can I give to other people? How can I serve other people? How does it benefit both parties? That's what I'm really interested in, because people like to think, oh, we're all human. What is it in for them? The third thing is to do it. What are you going to say when you're in? To think about what is your elevator pitch. I know it sounds a bit, what's the word? Forced, contrived. I don't know, but it sounds a bit, but figure out how you present yourself. My partner said to me once, Kassandra, you don't always, when I first met him years ago, he's like, you don't always say yourself in a positive light. You have to tell people what you're doing. And I was like, I don't want to tell people because I'm not sure. I'm an artist. I'm like, and he says to me, even if you don't have something physical, you're always an artist. You're always a creative person. That's how you think. That's the way you are. So never be ashamed if you don't have a big portfolio. Just say what you're doing. People like to hear from ideas. And what you say about yourself and how you reveal yourself and you do yourself in a positive light. I'm going to put a bit of a warning, not to be pompous and like, hey, this is what I do, and you're doing a sales pitch. You have to build relationships. And obviously, you're not going to get what you want from that person for this first time you see them. A year ago, a year down the line, you might do a collaboration. You might help them out with an email introductory. You just don't know. But important thing is that you do consistently and you meet them and you follow through. So when you meet them at an event, you follow through with an email, a LinkedIn message, or an IG message, the follow-up queen. So it's about doing it, doing the work. It's hard work, but it pays in dividends. Especially I'm learning in London. It's such a small creative world. It's big, but it's a small creative world. Like, oh, you know that person, you know that artist. Oh, okay. And just by the association of someone knows you or vouches for you, it goes a long way, especially with fund applications and with future projects and future money. So it's super important meeting these people and putting yourself in the environment to meet these people, for people who can help you and you can help other people. Now, I think my last episode was talking about finding a good mentor. Please look at that episode. That's really, really helpful. And sometimes mentor becomes friends. It just all depends on you. I really think if you want to be more creative and help people, you just need to increase how much creative people you have in your life. Not saying non-creative people like bankers or analysts or IT people are not helpful in your life, but you have to know where, safeguard how much you tell your dreams and how much information you give to you, because being someone like me who can be quite sensitive about their creative practice, when people poo on your dreams and poo on what you're doing because they don't see what you're doing, they can't envision it, they haven't seen it done, and it's very hard to convince people. So you just have to do the work. In general, how to find your creative people, do your stakeholder analysis, find the people, find where they are, interact with the people, build genuine relationships with that people, follow up, and do your work. It's nice meeting people, but what you got to talk to, what are you going to talk about? show what you can. If people look on your Instagram page is like your portfolio or whatever portfolio page, what are you showing them? How do you visually communicate to yourself? And as I, especially this year, it's only February, but your digital life, I feel like it's more important than your real life. Seriously, your digital life. This is how metaverse and all these NFTs and all this life is coming. Your digital life is taking over. So you got to get that on point. As I recorded, this is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I love all the people. Thank you for all of the support over the years doing this podcast and supporting it and getting opportunities from it and speaking opportunities and just connecting to people online and offline. I really do appreciate you and I really love you all. Like, I know it sounds like a bit of a, but I do. Like, you keep me going. I know that we are a small but mighty group, but I really do love and appreciate you, and you all help me to keep me going. So I hope you have a good Valentine's Day and a good time and a good week and a good life, and we just continue to grow. And I'm going to be persistent. I haven't seen much comments and sharing of the information, but I'm going to just keep on going, and hopefully you see the rise and the success of this platform really, really soon. Things are going to happen. Things are in development. But I like telling people when they're done. I can't bother with the behind the scenes when projects are done. That's what I usually tell people. Thank you very much for listening to the Black Creative Handbook. Speak soon.